It's time for GGSP. I'm Rad.
I'm Will.
And I'm Jem. Now, I know you both have super cute dog pets.
Boatmeal.
Wilson.
And they are magical, but have you ever considered a fast-moving, deadly bird of prey? Because today, we're reviewing what it's like to take a flying sidekick on adventures in Falcon Age. We'll also check in with Darren for part 3 of What's a Computer? This week, how memory works. Plus, we've got all the challenges of the Ask SP desk and a big ol' scoop of gaming news.
Okay, now pets aside, what Patronus would you have? You know, like from Harry Potter. Because mine would be the mighty earthworm.
Oh, well, mine would be the wolf. What about you, Jem?
Well, let me show you.
Is that Snorlax?
Developed by Outer Loop Games, Falcon Age is a PS4 exclusive title that sees you taking on the role of Falcon Mama and Robot Basher. Not a combination that comes together often, but one I'm super cool to take up.
I mean, who wouldn't? You play as Sarangarai, a young woman imprisoned in a correctional facility, and one of the few humans still living on this dying world.
It's during one of many days of reorientation practice and manual labor that a ray of light shines through the clouds, in the form of an orphaned baby falcon. After escaping the prison, falcon and baton in hand, you're introduced to Auntie, who honestly at first I thought attacked me. But no, thankfully just removed a tracker with a knife slash. Thanks, Auntie.
Yeah, she's a scary one, and not just with a blade. Through her, you're given some insight into what's been happening over the past few years since the colonizers arrived. Robots sent by the Outer Ring Company, or ORC, mine the land of its resources, and have been taking the inhabitants off-world to work and be obedient citizens. All that stands between the ORC and total planet control is you, your Falcon, and a handful of Resistance members. No pressure.
Before any of that though, Sarangarai has to learn to bond with and take care of her new feathered friend. And this is easily my favorite part of the game. When perched on your arm, you can play with your Falcon, feed her, pet her, or do whatever this is. In combat, you can send her to attack prey or predator from the air, which is equal parts hilarious and terrifying.
Yeah, I'd hate to be the robot that crosses her path, and many do try. The main objective you're given is to destroy the refineries that are polluting the air. There were a few fights that felt pretty sloppy. Running into the area with my Falcon circling, getting pummeled with darts while I frantically bashed droids and deactivated machines. Part of that was just me finding my flow, but even when I got in a grasp on the controls, it all kind of felt half-baked.
Yeah, I was feeling that too. For the most part, I kept her on my arm, as she has no real preservation instincts and would often fly right into turret fire if I let her go, which meant I couldn't control her until I could get a chance to heal her up again. There was also a fair bit of delay between my instructions and her attacks, sometimes flying off in the other direction entirely. I love the idea of going into battle with your Falcon side by side, but this felt more like I was wrangling a squawking sibling in a grocery store, just running into everything.
Yeah, and as pretty as that grocery store is, it has a fair few bugs. Textures popping in and out and sudden jarring changes in lighting were technical issues we run into frequently. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it did take me out of the moment, and the story itself was pretty lacking. There's a lot of interesting threads that just go nowhere, like Sarangarai's long-lost mother popping back up out of the blue, only to flash some pictures of cats and take off, or Auntie getting taken away by ORC just for her to nag you when you come to rescue her and return home.
If your main focus here is just to play with a cute Falcon, there is the option to play without combat in imprint mode, and both modes offer full PlayStation VR support. In VR, you can play with the Move controllers, which allows you to pet your Falcon by hand, as well as swing your baton if you want that extra level of immersion. I personally, though, didn't think they handled as well as using a controller, but I like that you're given the option. But we should wrap this up. Final thoughts, Will?
Falcon Age, I feel, tries to do a lot with a single idea, that is playing with your Falcon, but it never comes together to feel rewarding. Enemies are more annoying than threatening, and the combat feels like a roll of the dice rather than a test of skill. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I would have gladly sat down for 4 hours and played a Falcon version of Nintendogs. Easy. Give me a Falcon handler simulator any day of the week. But Falcon Age tries to be more than that. It never quite takes flight. So I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens. Here, Bazooki. Come here, girl. Bazooki.
Good spawning, Australia! It's time for the scoop with me, Darren! And with special guest, Rad!
Hi, everyone.
Before we get stuck into the good stuff, it's time for Darren's challenge! you name this area of Hallownest in the game Hollow Knight?
Well, let's just say there's not much room for error in a game like Hollow Knight.
Oh, or in Darren's challenge. Answer at the end of the scoop. Now for some news. The roguelike bullet hell style game, Enter the Gungeon, has officially added dog patting. A free update launched earlier this month now allows you to pat your canine companion, Junior the Second. You've got to be happy about this one, Boatmeal. Roguelike, more like dogue-like. Oh, very good, very good.
Oh, I've trained him well.
Speaking of updates, Surviving Mars is introducing an expansion known as Green Planet. The main feature to be added will be terraforming, which will allow you to reshape terrain and control temperature, atmosphere, water, and vegetation to help create a Mars that is habitable for humanity.
Oh, I did enjoy my time playing Surviving Mars, and this expansion sounds intriguing. Have you ever been to Mars, Darren?
Oh, affirmative. In fact, I spent my gap year there. Those Mars rovers really know how to party. All the stories I could tell. But for now, we have more news. Pokemon fans have been treated to another peek at the upcoming Detective Pikachu film. With a look at more Pokemon set to appear. Pancham, Ipom, Dodrio, and Venusaur were showcased, as well as Magikarp.
In my head, I saw that differently.
Oh, it's really cool to see these Pokemon brought to life in live action, Darren. I hope the film lives up to the hype.
As do I, Rad. Shall we move on to the extra scoop?
This week, it's a babushka doll of level building, with Super Mario Maker being created within another game, Little Big Planet 3. Made by someone known as Claptrap9, it's pretty impressive.
Well, that's one way to play a Mario game on PlayStation. Now to reveal the answer to Darren's challenge. The name of this area in Hallownest is known as the Fungal Wastes.
No, I'm a pretty fun gal myself, right, Darren?
Ah, affirmative. Don't upstage me, Rad. And that's all the time we have for today. We better scoop on out of here. See you next week.
Are you having a malfunction?
Computers are delicate and potentially dangerous pieces of electrical equipment. Do not try to open them without adult supervision. Welcome back to my computer lab. Today we'll be talking about something that will be hard to forget. Memory. Computers have several types of memory, just like humans. Firstly, there's RAM. And I'm not talking about male sheep. You definitely shouldn't put them in a computer. Oh, I'm talking about random access memory, which is where computers store the data that their processors need immediate access to. It's their short-term memory. Then there are storage drives like hard drives. These act as your computer's long-term memory, holding on to your important data for hopefully as long as you need it. But computers need RAM because it's super fast at reading and writing data. For a rough comparison, a standard hard drive could read and write over 3,000 books at the same time in about 5 seconds, while RAM would do it in the blink of an eye. Processors and RAM are like best friends in constant communication with each other, which is why RAM always sits right next to their processors, directly connected. Oh, they're inseparable. Without the high speed of RAM, CPUs and GPUs wouldn't get information fast enough and would sit idle, wasting precious potential computing power. Now, unlike humans, computers don't store their memories as wishy-washy recollections. Instead, they use bits, which you may remember is short for binary digit, or ones and zeros. Everything stored on computer memory is broken down into these bits, or chunks of them. For example, a single letter or number would be stored as a series of bits that the computer can interpret and read back later. In the early days of computing, people used holes in cardboard, known as punch cards, to store their information and programs. Oh, talk about bits of paper, eh? Eh? One thing almost everyone is familiar with in computing language are bytes. Gigabytes, megabytes, and so on. From how many gigabytes of storage a new phone will have to how many megabytes each picture of your cat will fill up. But how exactly do those itsy bitsy bits of data fit into all those gigabytes? Well, 8 bits make up a byte. 1,024 bytes make a kilobyte. 1,024 kilobytes is a megabyte, while 1,024 megabytes make a gigabyte, and so on. So you can store over 1 billion bits in a single gigabyte. But I think that's enough for today. Next time we'll take a look at some advanced computing fun, like overclocking and cooling. And remember, next time you use a computer, don't forget to appreciate all the billions of bits it keeps in its memory. Just for you.
Hey, Rad, I've been wondering, didn't there used to be a helpful hand that would pop up from time to time at the Ask SP desk?
Yes, the hand. There was some, shall we say, unpleasantness last year involving the hand. A bit of a cheese toasty theft incident, nasty business. Quite the betrayal. What? What are you doing here, the hand? I thought you'd be behind bars. What? It wasn't you whom stole the cheese toasty? You were framed? Oh, it was actually the other hand. Well, I am truly shocked. I don't know what to believe.
Oh, it's a bit of a misunderstanding, I'd say.
Well, I just can't believe that's a second hand, but I should officially introduce you. Will, the hand, Will.
Oh, nice to meet you. Hand? Oh, well, bye.
We better get on with these questions. You know, they're not gonna answer themselves. Like this one from Michael in Cairns. This is the king of Hollow Knight. 1. Can you get Hollow Knight on PC? 2. If you can, how? P.S. DARREN, do these. Oh, emoticons for Darren. Let me just dial him on in.
Hello.
Darren, emoticons now.
Query. Hash brown. Percent green.
P.P.S. Good job, Will. P.P.P.S. If you do not answer, I will trap your cheese toasties in Hollow Knight forever. Mwahaha! King of Hollow Knight out.
Thanks, King of Hollow Knight. Oh, hey, Darren, are you still there?
Affirmative.
Oh, well, the King of Hollow Knight wants to know if you can get Hollow Knight on PC, and if so, how do you get it?
Affirmative! Hollow Knight is indeed available on PC. You can download it via digital distribution platforms such as Steam, Humble Store, or GOG. Not to be confused with GGSP's resident stream master of the same name. Of course, you should always check with your grown-ups about creating accounts and making purchases using digital platforms.
That is a very good point, Darren. Oh, I also did hear about a physical release of Hollow Knight for PC and other platforms, which is apparently due out at the end of May.
Affirmative, Rad. I heard this as well.
Well, thanks for all your help, Darren. Bye.
My pleasure. So long.
Bye!
All right, well, let's move on to our next question, and this is a video one from Harry.
I've got 3 questions for you about Splatoon 2. How do you do salmon run by yourself? How do you do tower controls not in the ranked battle? And what is your favourite weapon by?
Thanks, Harry. To the question of how to do salmon run by yourself, well, some players claim to have experienced a solo salmon run after waiting in the lobby to be matched with a crew, but nobody else was found. This seems to be pretty uncommon though, and I don't know of an official way of choosing this way of playing. Salmon Run is a co-op multiplayer mode for 2 to 4 players, so it isn't really designed as a solo player experience.
As for how to play tower control, but not in ranked battle, I'm not sure that's entirely possible either. My understanding is that tower control is a specific ranked battle mode, so that's the only way to play it, to my knowledge.
But there is a great single-player campaign mode in Splatoon 2. And there's the Octo Expansion DLC if you want some more single-player fun.
Now to our favourite weapons in Splatoon 2. Well, from what I've played, I found myself gravitating towards the Tentatech Splattershot. I just found it to be a solid, dependable weapon.
I quite like the Splat Roller myself, especially in Turf War.
Nice. Now for another question, and this one comes from Ari from Manjimup, Western Australia. Hi guys, are ocelots the same as cats in Minecraft? From Ari, 6 years old.
Thanks, Thanks, Ari. In answer to your question about whether ocelots are the same as cats in Minecraft, well, for a while tamed ocelots were basically cats. They even had cat-style skins like tabby and Siamese.
But cats were officially introduced as a separate mob in a recent update. So if you have an edition of Minecraft that supports this particular update, there will be both cats and ocelots.
Ooh, double the feline fun. Moving along now to a question that really gets my goat. It's from Bayan, the Lord of Goats in 2500 from Melbourne, Victoria. Hi GGSP, questions from my goats. 1. Will you review Satisfactory? It's a great game still in beta. 2. What's your fave survival game? Mine is Subnautica. 3. Do these or my goats will eat your grass supply. P.S. Love your show. Thanks.
Not bad questions from your goats there. Bayan, Lord of Goats in 2500.
Oh, wait. He's only nobility. Oh, we only bow to royalty. But in answer to your question of whether we'll review Satisfactory, well, I'd say it's a possibility. As you mentioned, it's still in early access at the moment and hasn't been classified yet, so perhaps we'll keep our eye on it and consider taking a look at the full release.
As for our favorite survival games, you know, I think Subnautica might be my favorite survival game too. The design is fantastic and I love the way the mysterious story flows through it. I also enjoyed Raft, but there are some other great ones too, like Minecraft, Don't Starve, and Terraria.
And if you like space survival, there's No Man's Sky, Astroneer, Surviving Mars, Starbound, whatever floats your goat, really. And then, of course, there's the greatest survival game of all time, Life.
Right, well, on that note, we are out of time, and if you have a question you'd like us to answer, go here and send it in. And don't forget, we love our video questions, and the ones we choose for the show will receive a fine and dandy GGSP pin.
You know, I'm so glad the hand is back. I miss them. It's nice to know that they're around to pass us things on a whim, like, say, an original Game Boy Pocket. Hell yeah!
Whoa, can I try?
Oh, yeah.
How about an orange wig? Oh, thanks, hand.
Oh, aren't you glad you met the hand, Will?
Oh, I sure am.
Fashion.
And that's when I had to go online and look up a walkthrough.
Negative.
Hey, Jem. Hey, Darren.
Well, I believe that's a wrap for today.
Yes, but lots more to come next week. We return to the SteamWorld universe for a review of the new deck-building RPG, SteamWorld Quest: Hand of Gilgamesh.
Oh, marvelous! Those beloved steam-driven bots are back!
Oh, it's pretty cool, Dads. The SteamWorld Dig games were awesome.
And you'll have your final installment of What's a Computer 2 next week, right, Darren?
Affirmative, Jim. The epic finale!
Now, don't forget to jump online and check out our online exclusive reviews. This week, I go for some dangerous driving. And make sure you head to our website and send in a video message for our 10th anniversary.
We can't wait to see what you send in. But until next week, Gem out.
Right out.
Will out.
Darren out.